Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
All right.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Into the Comiverse. And I'm going to waste no time and introduce my panelists. Me and Vogs are going kind of solo tonight. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. May the 4th. May the 4th.
Yeah, May the 4th is today. So is Free Comic Book Day. I got a few free comic book stuff to show. I got a bunch of Star Wars stuff to show. Because that's the theme tonight is Star Wars. And I'm going to play this quick little clip. It was the only clip I got ready before the show. Kind of get us in the mood of Star Wars. Kind of did a little mashup. Hope you like it.
Oh, shit. There goes the planet.
That's going to be happen when the Earth explodes. When someone flies, we'll be like, oh, shit, the planet.
So how you doing today?
Good, man. I couldn't make it Free Comic Book Day, but I am wearing my favorite Star Wars merch. I won this at a minor league baseball game.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Darth Vader baseball jersey.
I don't know if you can see it. I will adjust the camera, but I'm wearing a mashup that I got from my daughter. It's Vader and Slayer. So
is it Vader or Slater?
Vader.
Slater.
It's Vader.
It's Vader. It's Vader.
So we're going to go into the chat real quick. First of all, if anybody wants to join the panel tonight and talk about Star Wars, the link is pinned at the top. Feel free to do that. We got Vogs in the panel, in the chat, saying May the 4th to everyone in the panel in the chat. Well, Boar, Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. Give me those Star Wars. Don't let them end. Star Wars. If they should bar wars, please let these Star. Oh, yeah, that's that song by Bill Murray. I love that.
I forgot about that, yeah.
I can't sing it. How you doing, Phil? Phil's Treehouse. We got KBDM. How you doing?
KBDM.
And that is the chat at the moment. I'm going to take a few minutes to get some stuff out of the way. First and foremost, I want to take a minute to wish my brother from another mother, Mr. Timothy Williams, a happy 50th birthday. He was born on May 4th, so today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Tim. Hope you're having fun in Indiana. And real quick, I'm going to give a shout out to Brian LCS's Kickstarter for the Doctor. I believe it has officially started now. So you can go to Kickstarter. I will try to remember to post a link to the Kickstarter in the description of this after the show. And I'm going to try to do something with it, and everybody should too. As a matter of fact, there's Tim. May the 4th be with you and me and Jen from Indiana.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday, sir.
And I figure he might kill me for that, but I mean, hell, you know. It is what it is. And first of all, as always, I'm going to kick into my segments, and we're going to start with some community news. As you know, the CBC Awards are fixing to start on June 15th, and you can go to www.cbcawards.org to cast your nominations for your favorite YouTube content creators. Like I said, that starts on June 15th. I think it goes to August 10th. Brian did a video last night kind of detailing and ironing some stuff out. That was pretty cool. And we'll play the video, and here we go. like I said, CBC Award nominations start on June 15th. So, Vols, how you been this week?
I've been good, sir. I've been working a lot. I
Me
work
too.
for Lowe's Home, or I work for Lowe's Home Improvement. It's been a busy week, but I worked from 9 a.m. till 4 today, and then I'm off tomorrow. So yeah, I have 2 shows tonight. I have one tonight, this show, and then I have another show at 8 p.m. So I'll be dipping a little early, but always love talking to Tony. Tony's a brother. Tony's treated me none but with love. Yeah, I'm happy I'm off tomorrow because the weather here has been just straight up rain.
Oh, hell. Where you at? I mean, you
North
getting.
Carolina, it's been
Ah,
pouring.
oh, Lord. Yeah, I think the Midwest or those states that got hit last week's about to get hit again.
I feel so bad for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's been rough. Have you by chance got to watch X-Men 97?
I've not watched any streaming service shows ever. I'm like that 29-year-old who just is too lazy to watch streaming service shows. But I have heard it's a great show, only good things about it, and maybe eventually I'll get to it.
What's going on, Collecting with Durs? How you doing, brother?
Durs, I know you have something going on tonight. Hope you're doing well, sir. Unfortunately, I can't make it tomorrow, but I know he's going to have another great show like he always does.
Yeah, I think I got a family get-together tomorrow afternoon about Durs' time, so I probably won't be able to make it either. But, yeah, Durs has a really awesome show, the Sunday Sesh, every night, or every Sunday night.
His video today was really cool.
Yeah.
The flea market one?
Actually, yeah, I'm getting them mixed up because I checked. I don't think I've watched the flea market one yet. There was another one I watched. Yes,
watch it. It's so cool.
Double the legends, double the pleasure.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I know Durs and Cliff and DVH and Rich and everybody's busy tonight, doing things. I mean, it's May 4th. There's a lot of stuff going on.
I didn't even binge watch Star Wars. I normally don't, but I should have. If Revenge of the Sith comes on later, I'll watch that.
I think I started either Monday or Sunday night with episode 1. Or no, yeah, episode 1.
What are you at now?
I'm doing, what I'd call Star Wars, but it's A New Hope. Yeah, theoretically, if I wouldn't have did any of the Disney, if I wouldn't have did Rogue One or Solo, I'd be at the Return of the Jedi.
You know what's so funny is I never saw Solo, and I've heard only good things about it.
I enjoyed it. It got a lot of crap, and I enjoyed it.
Isn't it
Rogue
the
One.
Backstory of Han Solo? Like how he got into smuggling and stuff?
Yeah, basically how he got into smuggling, how he got his ship. It's got Han or Lando in it, and how he met Chewbacca and all that stuff. And it's really good. Like I said, it got a lot of hate when it came out, and I think it was unnecessary.
I wonder when the next Star Wars movie is coming out. I can't even think.
That's a good question. I think they pretty much wiped the slate right now for films. They keep talking about films coming out, but I mean, who knows?
You know what? Speaking of Star Wars, I used to play Star Wars Battlefront 2 on my Xbox original. Man, that was my favorite game. And you know what's crazy is they were in development years later. They were going to make a Star Wars Battlefront 3, and they were going to make the villains good guys and the good guys bad guys. I was like, man, imagine the power of Yoda as a Sith. He'd probably have like Force Lightning and other stuff. Oh, yeah. It'd be game over.
Yoda would have wiped out the entire Jedi Order. Yoda alone.
Oh, Yoda would kill the Jedi Order. Oh, completely. Yeah, and then they showed like what Anakin would look like. It'd be like Vader, but his suit would not be black. It would be like a tannish or a white.
Let's see if I can find it. It's here somewhere. Oh, there we go. You said something about Darth Vader's suit that reminded me to pull something out that I'm going to show off later.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Star Wars has been part of my childhood. I didn't like, what's it called? Phantom Menace. Never liked it. Never liked it.
I liked it I enjoy it more now because it's just, I will say, the pod race, I actually fall asleep during the pod race. But, I mean, it's not that it's bad.
That's the only thing that's really annoying and long. The only cool thing is the whole Darth Maul thing.
Oh yeah, any scene with Darth Maul in it, yeah, it's instant.
Yeah, when we get introduced to Darth Maul, we don't know who he was. We're like, oh, who's this guy they're talking about that's like a spy? Oh, it's Darth Maul.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to switch gears real quick, take care of a couple things. As usual on the show, I like to do Comiverse. Wow, you ain't gonna believe this.
Huh.
I'm gonna have to stall for a second because I didn't load the shoutouts or the This Week in Comic History.
Oh no.
I can't believe I didn't do that.
It's been a busy week, man.
Yeah, it'll just take a minute. But as that's loading, I will talk about something else. Now this is about Star Wars, but I want to talk about something that is also near and dear to my childhood, and that is on May 1st, 1983 on NBC. On May 1st and May 2nd, a tiny little sci-fi show debuted in the miniseries, and it was called the original miniseries. It was produced and created by Kenneth Johnson, and it was about, aliens showed up in these giant ships that pretty much covered the city, and they promised to help the world and give us resources and stuff in exchange for their help because they need help. Okay, they're going to give us technology. They need some of our resources, but the fact of the matter is they're here to kill and enslave us and use us for food, and they're actually lizards underneath the human getup. And Diana likes guinea pigs.
I can tell.
That scene is probably one of the cheesiest scenes yet coolest scenes in the whole show. So, I mean,
never heard of the show, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah, I loved it as a kid. I still love it. The first miniseries was V. Then they did V: The Final Battle. Then they did a short-lived one-season television show, which I could tell you the budget was bad because they reused a lot of clips from the miniseries because of budget constraints. And then they did a remake a few years ago that was all right. And even they tried to bring back a couple original members, but it didn't really hit like the other one did. But yeah, I mean, it's still something near and dear to my heart because, we got Mark Singer. He played Michael Donovan. He's from the Beastmaster. We had Michael Ironside in the final battle. Robert Englund played Willie before he started as Freddy. So, I mean, that was pretty cool. And I know there's probably at the top, Jane Badler played Diana. And it was just a really awesome all-star cast. And it's out on DVD. It's out on Blu-ray. If you haven't ever watched it, go ahead and check out the movie or the series that inspired Independence Day to get their ships to cover towns. I mean, wow. KBDM says V was awesome. And I always wish they were releasing figures. I know they got some homemade figures now, but
yeah.
So with that said, I've got everything loaded up now.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I pulled that off pretty nicely. So without further ado, because I like my cigarette. Okay, so every week I pick 7 channels to do a Comiverse community shout out. If you're not subbed to these channels, check out their content. Give them a sub. Just check their stuff out. I'm sure they would appreciate it. This is a way for me to kind of give back to the community and show how much I appreciate everybody. A lot of these there's one first timer. He's the first one. And then the rest of them are channels that when I first discovered comic book channels on YouTube, these were the people that I found first. So we're going to get that going. And this is this week's Comiverse Community Shoutouts.
I'm sub to almost all those guys, and I can agree with you, Tony. Those are great channels.
Oh yeah, and
Dude,
Rob did.
is that
Rob,
Neil Armstrong drinking a beer on the moon? I knew he was
I
doing
don't know. I
something
just
like
found the
this.
picture and I was like, man, that's really cool. If I could find out whoever did it, I'll give them the proper credit.
I bet it
That
was Neil
pretty-
Armstrong. I bet he was like, man, everyone thinks I'm just a freaking astronaut.
Love V, same as Tony, got both the first V miniseries and a single season on TV. Now, I will say, as far as V goes, they actually, a few years ago, they released the original miniseries. It's been on novel. I mean, there's a bunch of novels you can go find in used bookstores by, I don't remember.
Was it one season?
Yeah, well, the TV show, okay, they did two episode miniseries that was about, oh my God, like 6 hours. Then they did a almost 10-hour miniseries for the final battle, and then the series was a whole season.
Gotcha.
But they did a couple books. They re-released the original miniseries on digital, and they re-released. Actually, they re-released on physical too, and then they released a book called V: The Second Generation, which was 30 years after V: The miniseries, the first one, because Kenneth Johnson, the creator, did the first miniseries. He had nothing to do with the TV show or Final Battle. So when he wrote that book, The Second Generation, he made it like that stuff never happened. And it was basically the visitors had pretty much succeeded. The oceans were almost dry. Michael Donovan had been a prisoner for 30 years, and they finally got a hold of, at the end of, if you've ever seen it, at the end of the first miniseries, they sent a radio broadcast out to outer space, and the enemies of the visitors found the broadcast and came and helped them finally win. And yes, before I forget, there was an 18-issue comic that came out in the 80s from DC Comics, and yes, I have every issue of that.
That's awesome.
It took me a minute, but I mean, most of them, that was not something you could find. Most of them I found in comic shops and flea markets.
Very cool.
So I'm going to move on to the next thing. This is going to be short, and along with the Comiverse community shout-outs I usually do this week in comic history. Last week I only had one book. This week I have three, so I'm going to roll this real quick, and these are books that celebrated anniversaries for this week, and we got a couple pretty cool ones.
Wow,
Because,
those last two are huge.
And they were today because, today is Star Wars Day, Free Comic Book Day, and today is the 40th anniversary of the release of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue #1.
That's insane. And then that Juggernaut one, man, I would love to own either of those.
I got a buddy that's actually got that Juggernaut. He's got books. Man, I went through his collection. He's the guy that cleans and presses my comics, and I went through the first 129 ASM books, and I just stopped because I could have just kept going. He has a bunch of them in slabs, and just, holding those early issues, and you're like, I think the only ones he don't have is AF-15 and ASM-1. And he may not have ASM-2, but he's got 3 to like the end of volume 1. I mean,
it's insane.
But and to just flip through his books, sometimes I get a little jealous. But I mean, hell, man, I'm just enjoying it. I mean, to get to actually sit there and say that I got to do that, or I got to see these books. But first, we're going to touch off on a little. I'll get to Free Comic Book Day later. First, let's talk about Star Wars. So, I'll show off some stuff later, Vogs. I know you're going to have to get out of here soon. I had this idea of like asking questions and stuff, but it's just
Go ahead.
Well,
all
right. So the first questions that come up to mind, of course, I'm going to ask the obvious ones. Favorite movie from the prequel, sequel, and original. And everybody in chat.
What's prequel? I always forget.
That's episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Oh man. So as a kid, I was scared of episode 3, but episode 3 is my favorite of the prequels. It just how dark it gets.
Agreed.
Dark. We get introduced to Anakin falling to the dark side because for those who watched 4, 5, and 6 originally, I wasn't born when those came out, which were the 1, 2, and 3 for you guys. Everyone's like, who's this Darth Vader guy? And then you find out he was Anakin Skywalker, and then you're like, I want to know this guy's origin. A la 1, 2, and 3. So I'll say number 3. The sequels. Everyone loves Empire. I think the scene of Empire I love is, of course, where they're fighting in Cloud City. Iconic scene. Great scene. But I love episode 6. I just love it because
Right.
Luke is a Jedi master by then, basically.
Yeah.
And then, what was the other one?
Actually, the sequel trilogy was 7, 8, 9. The original trilogy, which that's what you covered, was the original trilogy.
Yeah, okay,
So-
that was the original trilogy. For the sequels, I was okay with the Rey saga, but Rogue One was really well done.
Exactly.
I like Rogue One a lot. I thought it was cool. We got to see the origins of what the Death Star plans were, who created them, how they had to send it to Leia and transfer them to Leia, and how they had to sneak onto
Scarif.
Scarif, yep, and do that. Yeah, so I'd say Rogue One, Episode 3, and Episode 6.
I was going to say the only real reason now that I remember Scarif is because my buddy Tim, we played Dungeons and Dragons, and he made it a ranger character and named him Scarif.
Nice.
And I had to ask him, where'd the name come from? He said, dude, that was the planet they went to on Rogue One. I went, oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Okay, so for me, prequel trilogy, a lot of people don't like Attack of the Clones. I liked the story build-up. But, again, Revenge of the Sith, to me, was the best one. Because everybody watched the original trilogy because you wanted to see Anakin turn to Darth Vader. We just didn't know to what degree that he was really going to turn evil. I mean,
exactly.
When he started killing younglings and everything,
Something was up. Yep.
And I'm gonna give a shout out real quick because I have the original, the whole trilogy on hardcover, but this was my favorite read, even though episode 2 was written by my favorite author, Ari Salvatore. There's some stuff in this book that I feel that should have been in Revenge of the Sith.
Like what?
They had, there's a scene where Anakin sits on the couch and says, Obi-Wan was here. See, prior to that, there was a meeting at Padme's apartment, or their apartment, of Bail. I may get everybody wrong, but it was Bail, Mon Mothma, Obi-Wan, and a few others, and they were sowing the seeds of the rebellion. So that should have been in it. And then there's one little line that I wish they'd have put it in there. And at the end, when he is on Mustafar wiping out all those people, that little whiny little guy from the Trade Federation that said he had a deal with Lord Sidious. Well, in the book, he says, Lord Sidious promised us a handsome reward. And Anakin looks at him and goes, I am your reward. Aren't I handsome?
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I was like, man, I mean, the fact that he just tore through him and didn't say a word actually is pretty awesome too. But I mean,
Yep.
I was like, yeah, man, I would have loved for him to put that in there. That would have been really awesome. Now, yeah, Revenge of the Sith would be my favorite prequel. The original trilogy, always, forever, will be Empire Strikes Back.
That is a good one. That is a really good one.
Pardon my language, but the shit gets real.
It does.
The good guys don't always win. Han gets a little frozen due to contracts that he didn't know if he'd be in Return of the Jedi. Just a little bit. My boy Boba Fett showed up, technically for the first time. If you watch the special editions, and of course he's in the New Hope.
Yep.
But my boy showed up in Empire, and then they made him look like a punk in Jedi. But then they brought him back in Mandalorian, so it was all cool. And now the sequel trilogy, I don't really count them as far as the sequel trilogy, but out of the 5, I'd say Rogue One. Rogue One is the best.
So well done.
If I had to pick a 7, 8, or 9, I'm going with Force Awakens because I really didn't care for 8. I think
Was that the one where I forget? Sorry to interrupt. Was that the one where Luke pretended to die and he died on the planet? Was that Force Awakens where he's on that salt planet? Kylo Ren said, "Shoot everything at him."
Yeah,
and it was a mirage, and he actually died on the planet he was at.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
But aside from them shooting him and him just doing that, to me, that was the only memorable moment in the whole movie. I
wanted to ask you, do you think they wimped out on killing Luke another way, or do you think it was a perfect way to kill him?
Honestly, I wish he wouldn't have died at all. But, I mean, to me, I wish they would have. I mean, everybody has their ideas about how they think things should go. Honestly, first and foremost, I've been stating this for 30 years. Episode 7, 8, and 9 should have been the Thrawn trilogy.
Yeah.
That is my opinion.
How would have you killed Luke?
I wouldn't have.
But I would have. If you had to have.
I would have. He freaked out because he saw the Emperor in Ben. And that's what made him almost kill him, and that's what made Ben leave. Okay, I understand that. But he could have also been the guy to finally realize, hey, he spent all that time bringing his dad back saying there's good in him, and he didn't see any good in Ben. I mean, to me, it would have been more if Luke would have brought Ben back instead of Rey.
Do you think it could have been like a Obi-Wan Darth Vader doing the...
What now?
If they did, do you think it would have been bad if they did the Vader killing Obi-Wan for Kylo Ren doing that to Luke?
Well, I think that was the shock factor of Force Awakens is that was the Ben moment when he killed his dad. Yeah, and Mark didn't like the way that they portrayed Luke either.
I didn't either. I agree they shouldn't have killed him, but they did. I'm happy they did it where he was in his inner peace when he died.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is true. And to me, episode 9, people may hate me for saying this, but to me, you can tell it was a rush job, and they were trying to patch stuff up. My only grievance about the sequel trilogy, I still watch them, but my only grievance is like when you watch 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, Lucas had a structure. He knew what he wanted from the beginning, what he wanted in the middle, and what he wanted in the end. There is no structure in 7, 8, and 9. There's just we're going to throw stuff on the wall and see what sticks.
Yep, exactly. I agree 100%, Tony.
Because, the part where Palpatine come back in 9, now that wouldn't have surprised me if they would have put little seeds in 7 and 8.
Yeah, they just were like, oh, guess what? Surprise, Palpatine's back. I'm like, what?
Because if
dude, I just saw this sucker die.
If you look in the expanded universe novels during Dark Empire 1, 2, and Empire's End, he came back. He explained. He came back in a clone body. Explained pretty much why he was always after Skywalker DNA because he used it as part of his clones. He could jump when one body just died. He could jump from clone to clone, and that's how he kept resurrecting himself. And Luke went out and killed all of his clones and then killed him. Yep. So I mean,
I agree.
Wellbore says he still hasn't watched episode 9 because of episode 8.
Evil Mike said the milk. Yeah, dude, that scene was terrible.
Yeah.
Where he drinks the blue milk, he's just like, boom. And I'm like, dude, what the heck?
Yeah, okay, now Evil says there was structure, but that went away with Ryan from The Last Jedi. I said, I'm not faulting J.J. Abrams at all. I think J.J. had a plan. And then
Ryan Johnson just threw stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I will agree with Mike on that.
I do want to see your stuff before I leave.
Okay.
But I have 2 things too.
Well, I was going to say, but the one thing that really killed me was, at the end of episode 7, you see Rey holding out the lightsaber. We're all like, oh my God, it's cool. And we had to wait a whole nother 3, however long we waited, and just to see him go. And I was like, what?
Yeah, it's just Luke. He's like, oh, you gave me this? Whatever.
There was a hand.
Yeah. Everyone was like, what the heck?
So we'll start with you, man. Then I'll show off some of my stuff.
Yeah, because I don't want to miss that because I have to jump on Fin 15. So I bought this a few
I agree,
months
Mike.
ago.
I agree.
Star Wars Empire, speak softly, carry a lightsaber.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Sorry, it's not bag and board, guys. I just don't have any more bag and boards. I need to buy them. And then this
Dude.
was free from Free Comic Book Day last year.
That's cool.
I'm
I had to
not a big
order.
fan of High Republic, but it's cool.
I actually
and then-
wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind the High Republic stuff just to get away from the Skywalker stuff. Something fresh.
True. And then I bought this a few years ago. It's a Darth Vader battle damaged with the lightsaber.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's missing an arm. It's hard to see. Of course, I'm wearing my Darth Vader minor league baseball jersey. And then this guy played for the Charlotte Hornets. He stunk for the Charlotte Hornets. He was a better college player. It was on Charlotte Hornets basketball Star Wars Day. It's a Frank Kaminsky.
Oh, that's cool. That is cool. Mike says the High Republic stuff was a letdown. I didn't read any of it.
That's all my Star Wars stuff. I'll probably have more stuff for next Star Wars Day.
Well, let me before I start, I'm gonna get something down from the wall because I meant to do this earlier, and I think it would be cool. Okay. I did forget to get my Dr. Afra book out, but I do have the first appearance of Dr. Afra, and I meant to get it out. So
I'm
as far as
you haven't sent that to Durs or Trev.
no, that's mine. I was buying all the Star Wars stuff when Marvel started, and then my dumb ass got rid of everything. And I had it before, and then I ended up buying it again. It's clean and pressed and ready to go to CGC, CBCS. So as far as figures go, all my Black Series figures are still on the wall. I didn't have time to pull them down. I got some Power of the Force figures up there. So I'm going to start off with a couple Power of the Force figures that's still in the box. These are pretty much the same thing. This is Leia in the speeder bike from Empire or Return.
Oh, wow.
And Luke. So
nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, those will never get opened.
If you can look, you probably can't, but we got Lord Vader right here. Star Wars Unleashed. These are the only pops, and I have a Hercules pops, but I'm not a pops guy, but this right here is a Sand Trooper and Dewback. This is the Mandalorian with Grogu. These were gifts. This one's from my cousin. This one's from my nephew. My mom and them. If you can't really see it, but there's this is a transformer of Han and Chewbacca that you put together, and it forms the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah.
All right. So as far as figures go, I figured if I pull two down, these might be the coolest ones. And that is Chewbacca.
Nice.
With his gun.
Nice. Do you have the Falcon?
No, I don't have any of the vehicles. And an original. These are both original 1977 figures.
Dang. Those are beautiful.
And I got these off of eBay for $30 a piece.
Not bad.
So, yeah, I always wanted a speeder bike when I was a kid, a real life speeder bike. And I also
imagine if they were real. Oh God.
I would have died a long time ago, dude.
All of us would have.
So where do I? Oh, and I need to give a special shout out. This is not mine. This is my daughter's. She got this from Build-A-Bear. She got her a Porg and put him in Kylo Ren's outfit. And the mask is in the living room.
Porgo Ren.
Porgo Ren. He's the Dark Lord of the Sith. He's the true evil mastermind.
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of Kylo Ren, those SNL skits with Kylo.
Oh my God, the undercover boss.
Yeah, he's like, ooh, I wonder if that's Kylo Ren. Hey man, yeah, that Kylo Ren guy. He seems like he's such a total jerk, and he's like bad crapping himself, and they're like, yeah, and then he like kills one of them later. He's like, that's what you get for bad nothing.
All right, I'm gonna go into some games. I only have a few games, but I figured I'd show
Lego Star Wars. That's a classic.
And I've never played it. I still got my
they're fun. They're cartoony, but they're fun.
I still got my PS2, but I hadn't played it yet. This one I loved. I need to get the first. I got this on PS2 also.
Yeah, that's a legendary game. I never played it, but I played Star Wars Battlefront 2. That game's classic, though.
I got. I love the first level where you're Vader.
Which ending did you do? Good or bad?
I never finished it. So I've got it. Like I said, I got the PS2 version of this. So I don't really have a 360 anymore, but I still got all my 360 games. So I'm going to go through the PS2 version. Now we go to Nintendo 64. I got this.
Yes, sir.
And of course, if you're going to talk about Nintendo 64, oh my
I still
Lord.
have my 64. My brother bought one a few years ago. Nice.
And the thing about, I'm going to tell you about these that I can brag about these cases. I made them.
No way.
Yep.
That's sick.
Oh yeah, I made these cases. Every one of my NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64 games are in custom cases that I made.
Dude, that's so cool.
And then,
what comic? I do not want to miss these comics. I bet you have some bangers to show.
I didn't pull that many comics out because I was really pressed for. I was pressed for time. I put in a couple of air conditioning units. And
Do I see a cat? I thought so.
No, yeah,
I see a cat.
He's fixing to get in trouble. He's gnawing on my comics. All right, yeah, this is my mask cat. This is my daughter's cat.
Is that Darth Vader as a cat?
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to get in trouble because it looked like he's trying to gnaw on my new comics. So we can't have that. All right, so novels, original trilogy. This is old.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to see if these paperbacks are old because some of them are not in the best condition. No, they're a lot. This is one of my favorite novels. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, this was the first novel written about Star Wars. And that's Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
That sounds really good.
It's a really good story. They actually have 4-issue comics from Dark Horse that you can still get.
Is it like before episode 4? Or
it is after episode 4, before Empire Strikes Back. This is the first idea treatment. This was, I believe they were going to use this as a possible script for the sequel. And then they decided to do a different route.
What was the plot?
They had went to this. I have to read the back of it because it's been 30 years. But they're looking for some kind of crystal or something that enhances Force users. And Darth Vader comes with
that would have been a sick Star Wars movie.
And it comes with Vader comes looking for it. Luke and Leia are on this planet. Like I said, I want to read it again. I probably will read it again because if I ever do my book report series, I'm going to do this. Of course, 97, there were toys, there was games, there was nothing else. But we got Shadows of the Empire. This is pretty awesome. Prince Shizor was a pretty cool guy. Dash Rendar was awesome. Really great character. Now, I will say, I could have sworn I seen the Outrider in episode 9. And if I did, that was pretty cool. But yeah, this is a really good. A lot of people consider this to be one of the best Star Wars novels.
Yep.
And I love it, but I don't consider it to be one of the best Star Wars novels. These.
Did you ever read Republic Commando?
No, I have not. There's a lot that I haven't read. I want to read the one about Darth Plagueis. I want to read the ones about Darth Bane. I really want to read those. But this is my favorite trilogy. I said it should be 7, 8, 9, and I'm talking about Heir of the Empire.
Nice.
And then we got Dark Force Rising.
Yep.
And The Last Command. These books, you can still get them for fairly cheap. And these are my originals. And I think they should be 7, 8, 9. Of course, I showed this off. I've got the whole hardcover of that. You've never read it. This is Star Wars Infinities, and this is a graphic novel that carries. It's got episodes 4, 5, and 6, and it's kind of like What If. And I brought this out when you start talking about Darth Vader because there's a scene in I believe it's Return of the Jedi, where if I could find it, where Luke or Vader didn't die. And he ends up going after. Anyway, he ends up helping the kids. And right now I'm trying to flip through it and I can't find it. But you find out basically Vader is.
I kind of want to get that now. What is it called?
It's called Star Wars Infinities. You can get it's just a trade you get, and something happens, and anyway, he lives. He doesn't die, and he comes back.
Yes, I've heard about that. I've heard it's cool.
And they decide to start tracking down the Emperor because the Emperor lived. And they're gonna Vader's with his children, and they're gonna start tracking down the Emperor. I got this. I don't remember if I bought it or if it was a gift. This is a nice hardcover. And I'm fixing to wind it down. Only Star Wars comic I have in a slab. Got it this year.
Oh, nice.
I didn't care about everything else. Oh, we got Rich. What's up, Rich?
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hey, I've got to run, Tony. I'm sorry for the short stream, man.
No problem, man. I'm fixing to show my last thing, and I'll be done. But thanks for helping me, man.
Yeah, go ahead. Show your last thing.
I got these as a gift from a friend of mine, and they are the original.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was like
the original Empire
something, right?
What were they from? Burger
King. I think they're Burger. Yeah, it says Burger King.
Yeah, Burger King.
My cousin was moving, and he said, "Hey, man, check these out." And he showed them to me, and I was like, "Well, that's nice. I don't have no money for that." And he said, "I didn't ask you if you had any money." So he gave these to me.
Those are
That's
dope.
pretty cool, man.
Anyway, Tony, thanks for having me, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, sir. Man. Thanks for being on the chat.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out.
Soon. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Hi, Rich.
What's up, Tone?
Not much.
I really wanted to be on the stream, and if I jump off abruptly, it's because I got to drive my son and a bunch of his friends home in a minute.
Okay, that's cool.
But I was trying to listen as I was driving, and I heard you guys talking about the the prequels and the episodes 7, 8, 9, and I agree with you. Obviously, the original was the best. Empire's probably definitely my favorite, even though A New Hope is always got a warm spot.
Oh yeah.
I didn't dislike. Well, let me rephrase that. The original prequels 1, 2, and 3. I didn't like episode 1 for the wrong reasons because I could not stand Jar Jar and I could not stand young Anakin.
Well,
the story was really good, but they just went too baby with those characters and it kind of ruined it for me. Episodes 2 and 3 I thought were good, man. A lot of people, didn't like some of them, but I thought they were both awesome.
Yeah, I always thought 3 was like dark as hell, but I loved every minute of it. I mean, that was what we were waiting on. I mean, we if we could have skipped and just went to episode 3 and watched you put the stuff on.
Yeah, I gotta jump, man. I'll try to jump back on when I get home if you're still on. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
All right, man, that's cool. Take it easy, brother. Thanks for hanging out.
All right, man. See you.
Right. So, guys, y'all got any questions? Just feel free to sound off in the chat. It's just me. I do know today they started the Star Wars Tales of the Empire. I haven't watched that yet. And we got episode 8 of X-Men 97, which was part 1 of the Tolerance's Extinction, which was pretty cool. We got to see Cable and Cyclops team up. We got to see Magneto show off his awesomeness. Greetings from Jabba the Hutt. And before I forget, as you can tell, I'm not used to doing this solo. So I'm going to show off some books that I picked up today. Of course, I got some free comic book days. This is just a little bit, and then I'm going to have a video showing everything I got. And then, got KBD. X-Men is good. I'm really looking forward to the last 2 episodes. And I'm kind of trying to figure out where Bishop is. He took Cable to the future, and we've seen Cable come, or Nathan to the future. We've seen Cable come back, but where's Bishop? That should be pretty cool. All right, so free comic book day stuff. Now, a lot of us probably got the same stuff, and I got a lot of stuff for my daughter, but just a few things off the top. I got this, Turtles. Of course, I picked up Star Wars. Really nice cover. Picked up Blood Hunt X-Men. I haven't read any of the Blood Hunt stuff yet. I'm looking forward to reading that. We got Spider-Man Ultimate Universe. Of course, the one I cannot believe that I was in 2 LCSs and forgot to look for Absolute Power. I might have to get that. And then I got 2 copies of Energon Universe. That's pretty cool. So when I was at my second shop, this dude had this in my file forever. I'd closed my file, but it was the last thing I ordered, and I had been in there in months, and he still had it, and he held it for me. And that was issue 4 of Fright Night. I need to get issue 3 to have the set, unless there's 5 issues. I don't know. I picked up this variant of Django Fett. I love this. And then speaking of the Phantom Menace, we've got episode 1, the Phantom Menace 25th anniversary. Supposed to have some new stories. I'm looking forward to reading that. And then with the Ultimate stuff going on, I went ahead and picked up this second print of Ultimate Universe number 1. It's pretty cool. And then at my first LCS, B&B Collections, I got Chromium Crisis. Because I think I'm going to do like Secret Wars and just try to get the foils. I screwed up and forgot to order the red band for issue number 1, but I got an issue number 1, so that is pretty cool. But somehow I ordered a regular and foil of Uncanny 130. So if I don't change my mind, the regular one may go into a giveaway bin. All right. Moving on, we have Ultimate Spider-Man number 4. This has been a really solid series. Been told this is a filler issue. I don't know. I'm gonna look forward to reading that. And Ultimate Black Panther number 3. I'm not a Black Panther guy, but this has been a solid series. I enjoy reading this every month it comes out. And of course, it's just on 3rd issue, but I've enjoyed the hell out of it. This one, as soon as I seen the cover, I had to order it. We've got the Art Germ variant for Something is Killing the Children. This is just freaking awesome. Got Conan the Barbarian issue 10, and he, like I talked about 9 last week, he is teaming up or fighting Cole the Conqueror, so that's been pretty cool. Then I went to the dollar bins. I don't own a single Michael Turner comic, but I went ahead and picked up Fathom, this issue number 1. Thought that was pretty cool. Picked up another Uncanny X-Men for $1. And then I actually set a goal. This isn't a big boy book. This isn't really anything. I think I paid $8 for it. The whole story with Conan teaming up with Cole in the new Titan series got me looking to see if they ever did it before. So when I found out they did, I actually said, okay, my goal when I come up for Free Comic Book Day today was to go into one of the shops and look and see if they had Conan the Barbarian number 68, which it's not the first time they met. There was another meet up. But I did achieve my objective. So that is pretty cool. And that is all I've got as far as new Comic Book Day pickups, Free Comic Book Day pickups. I'm going to do a video where I just show everything because I've got like a whole nother bag up there of all kinds of stuff that I didn't show in this one. And so y'all got any questions y'all want to ask before we get out of here? Or oh, I agree. Yeah, they were packed today. They were packed. I hear you, brother. I hear you. So this is all I really got. I'm going to talk about next week on the show. I'm going to have a gentleman. He goes by the name Captain Hardluck on Instagram. And you're going to have to permit me to use my phone because I don't really know much about the character. He reached out to me because he's got his own comic book on Kickstarter. And okay. So his name is Jacob Michael Campbell. He lives in Utah. He's a professional graphic designer, musician, and most recently a comic book writer. His first comic book, Toe and So Long, He released the first issue. You can get it on Amazon on digital. I don't know if there's any physical copies or not. It says that he released it. It was conceived in 2018. He released it in January 2024. I'm going to buy the digital and check it out because I just hadn't done it yet. And issue 2 is on the way through the Kickstarter. The arts for this issue was done by Alexis Lavallo, and the art for issue 2 is going to be done by Desiree Bashi and Straub. I can't pronounce that. But anyway, I'm going to have Jacob on the show next week talking about his Kickstarter. And somewhere down the line, hopefully we will have Brian on here to talk about the Doctor as well. And y'all, honestly, that's about all I've got. I mean, I can sit here and talk about Star Wars all day long. I grew up, I'm 51 years old, so I'm an original trilogy guy, but I love all of them. I even like the sequels to an extent. I'm not crazy about them, but I like them. And just looking to see, what they come up with next. Like I said, I know they're doing the Tales of the Empire. I believe they're doing Acolyte. And I can't say I'm really excited for the future of Star Wars, but maybe it'll turn around. Han shot first. Yes, he did. And tonight, I'm going to go watch episode 4 or A New Hope, or for me, just Star Wars. And I've got the DVD that has the original theatrical edition. I bought those when they came out. So I'm going to be watching the original theatrical versions of the original trilogy. So that'll be pretty cool. But y'all, that's all I've got. I'm going to go ahead and wind it down. I want to thank everybody because Kyle actually has a live show going on. He's showing off some Star Wars stuff as well. And I'm going to take a minute. I want to thank Vogs and Rich for hanging out, hopping on. Everybody that's responded in the chat. Once again, happy birthday to my buddy Tim. Hopefully next week we'll have some of the crew here and we'll talk to Mr. Jacob about his comic. And until next time, everybody, I'm going to leave you with, since this is the 40th anniversary of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, Scott has the laser disc. You don't have a shot. And everyone, may the 4th be with you. And remember, tomorrow's the Sith holiday, Revenge of the Sith. And I'm going to leave y'all with, since this is the 40th anniversary of the release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 today, I'm going to leave y'all with the Turtles ending. So everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. And everybody, I will see you next week.
Well, dudes, I'd say that's pretty much a wrap. Cowabunga?
Cowabunga!
Yeah!
Yeah!